All right, we're going to talk about Mick calling off Stephen Fulton and being impressed after he beat Angelo Leo. But first, let's talk about y'all got Adrien Broner. Says he don't want to fight Regis Prograis right now. Let's talk about that. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And basically, Broner told Regis Prograis to go get a world championship belt so that then they can fight for a mega fight. And basically said he went back and forth with Young Money's McMahon about Regis Prograis. You know, they from New Orleans. Regis from New Orleans. And basically said that, you know, when Regis get a belt, he'll fuck him up. And I think that's a reasonable demand. Adrien Broner then pretty much fought everybody that they asked him to fight. And I think he at the point in his career where he could tell a guy like Regis Prograis, go get a belt and they can fight. People thought that Regis Prograis signed to PBC to fight Adrien Broner, and he did. But basically, you can't force Broner to fight you. You know, you only can basically go do, you know, what he asked you to do to get that fight, and that's go get a belt. And I just think at this point in his career, Regis he's not a volume puncher at all. And Broner really never been a volume puncher. In the lower weight classes, he was able to get those smaller guys out with 1 or 2 big shots. And when he moved up, he never made the adjustment to, you know, basically being more mobile with his legs, boxing, sticking and moving his head, throwing more punches. He never made that adjustment. You know, Floyd's adjustment when he made up, since he looked up to Floyd so much, his adjustments was, you know, basically to generate more power. You know what I'm saying? So Floyd wasn't moving as much. He was stationary, looking to punch to the target to get those bigger guys respect. And I think Broner's whole thing should be, you know, it's too late at this point. Move his legs, stick and move, be slick, hit, throw 2 or 3 punches at a time. He got the hand speed. He just won't let his hands go. And people say, well, Madonna, he really, you know, basically made him not throw a lot. But he never threw a lot of punches, to be honest. You know, Broner's always one of those guys that 1 or 2 big shots. You go watch the Antonio DeMarco fight, which I think is his best victory. And Mike Stafford is begging him to move his hands. Broner not a volume shot puncher, and neither is Regis Prograis, which, you know, it'll make for a good fight because Broner can punch a bit at 140. Regis can punch a bit at 140. So really, it's going to be it's not going to be a tactical. It could be a tactical fight, but I think if Regis don't stop him at this point, I mean, what separates you from Mikey? What separates you from Madonna? You know, and Madonna fought the best version of Broner out of the 3 to this point. So what separates you? So that got to be on his agenda to get Adrien Broner out of there by all means. And, obviously when you trying to get guys to fuck up out of there, obviously a knockout can come back your way. You can get knocked out yourself. But, I think Broner willing to fight him. He ain't ducking him. He said he got love for Regis. He pulled for him every time he fight. But he need to get a world title. And that's what he on track for, is a world title. And he said if they do fight, he going to fuck him up. I don't believe that. At this point, Adrien Broner can dedicate himself to the sport of boxing as much as he want to, but he ain't never moved his hands. You can't just be inactive, bullshit around, then come back to boxing and get in shape. Look what happened to Conor McGregor. Disrespect MMA, fight every once in a while, and the activity killed him. So as you get older, if you don't fight, if you don't have activity, you're going to start to lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it. That's what you tell old people. And if, Adrien Broner don't use his attributes, he don't use his boxing ability, he going to lose them. And maybe a refresher and, kind of getting away from the sport, resting and all that stuff, it may help him. But to me, when you get up there in your 30s and you ain't as active as you should be, it's gonna be hard for you to beat a guy like Regis, who been way more active than you. Who coming into his prime, moving his hands. And him and Regis around the same age, but Regis a fresher 30-something. He fresher. So that's just my whole thing about it. This Broner just ain't stay active enough. He ain't dedicated himself to the sport. Him and Tank want to be bullshitting around in between fights and all of that. Focus on boxing. So by the time you're 30, 31, you can have all the big fights. You can make the money you need to make. You can retire. You can live your player lifestyle. But Broner not active enough. And whoever you fight coming up, it's not going to be ready for getting him for Regis. But, honestly, I want to know who he is targeting after this fight, whoever he got fighting in February. Who is he targeting after that? Because at 140, all the champions, they about to unify with Josh Ramirez. So maybe they wait for him to relinquish the belts. But then again, the winner got to fight Catterall. Then the winner of that and Catterall got to fight, gonna probably want to fight Teofimo Lopez. So you could be looking at 2022 before you get a shot at a real world title. So I heard that they might want to make Mario Barrios and Regis Prograis next. Will Adrien Broner accept a regular WBA title as a title? Because that's what Mario Barrios got when he accepted as a title. Who knows? Maybe he will recognize and say, how many championships he done got. But I don't really recognize that belt as a real belt. But I heard Barrios and Regis could be fighting next. I don't know if that's still going on. I heard that a while ago, but that'd be an interesting fight. Barrios could punch a bit. Regis could punch a bit. You know, and Barrios was a guy that was just at, 126 or something. So, you know, he's still growing into his frame. And he kind of still fight like a smaller fighter. You know, do a lot of punches speed. But, you know, I think Regis should give Barrios. But it wouldn't be surprising me if the fight didn't happen if Regis can't make the weight and missed weight his last fight. Wouldn't surprise me at all. So, I mean, should be interesting. I mean, if Broner and Regis is to go, I mean, it is what it is. Remember, Broner and Devin kind of went back and forth at the time, and Broner asked for a whole bunch of money to come to the zone, and I don't know. I don't think Broner, I mean, if you just consider the WBA regular belt and the regular WBC belt, he can get one of those, but to be honest, unless they put him in a position to fight the right guy for a belt, and he fought the right guy. If he was at 130, 135, 147, Malignaggi, 140. You know, Broner is a product of matchmaking. In the first fight he fought on HBO versus Ponce de Leon, a lot of people felt like he lost that fight. So, Broner being a product of matchmaking. And that's one of the most important things about boxing, to get dudes to the title. If it was one title, you know, I hate to say I like Broner, but he wouldn't have a championship. He wouldn't have won a belt. If it was with 2 titles, he probably wouldn't have won a belt. If you put 4 titles and they all got subsidiary titles damn near, you know, anybody can get a belt in boxing that's ranked in the top 10 or 15. If you know the right people. Shit, Arturo Gatti was getting the right belt and he wasn't that fucking good. You go on to a lot of guys, you know, that end up getting the belts. And you talking about the guys yesterday who can get the belts. They fought in this era. Norton and Shavers all would have had belts, you know. Just my honest opinion on it, but it is what it is. If they end up fighting, we'll see. But Regis don't want to go up to 147, so if Broner to go, Undisputed happen, they eventually relinquish the belts. Adrien Regis can fight him. Maybe they can fight Teofimo Lopez down the line. But yeah, Mick Conlan called out Stephen Fulton, said he want that fight. He did move down to 120. Yeah, they fight 122. So I think Mick Conlan was at 126. Excuse me. Getting cold in the D. So yeah, he went on to 122 to fight Fulton. He been competing down there. So if you want to fight Fulton, that'd be an interesting fight. I think, you know, Fulton probably bang him out his frame. I think his best bet was fighting Angelo Leo if he had won, but I think Leo would beat him too. You seen the chin Leo got. Mick Conlan couldn't handle that pressure. I don't really think it's a belt that he can get at 122 because Luis Theory probably gonna get the WBC over Figueroa. You got old boy that beat Danny Roman. I forget who got the IBF down there. Maybe you can get him. No, I think that dude that beat Danny Roman got both of them. I could be wrong. I think he got both of them. And Spo got 122 belt. But to be honest, I don't think Mick Conlan could beat Stephen Fulton. Stephen Fulton look too good. He can fight on the inside. He could box on the outside and gas in the fight. So his conditioning seemed to be good. So I don't know what Mick Conlan see. Another thing about that fight, if they make that fight, then people gonna be saying why Earl and Terrence can't fight because Mick Conlan is with Top Rank, and maybe Bob be willing to send Mick Conlan over to fight Fulton. And man, I know what Mick Conlan see Fulton don't punch that hard, and he can't punch at all. Then maybe he can beat him and not get hurt. So man, it'd be interesting to see if they can duel it out and they can bang it out. I would love to see it. Mick Conlan ain't really impressed me, and there's a lot of amateurs that come out like Mick Conlan, Zeus Simmons, who can't fight professional. You know, amateurs all about scoring. Professionals, shit, you know, it's conditioning. You know, your opponent really looking to hurt you, especially without headgear, smaller gloves. So, yeah, I like Mick Conlan, but I think Stephen Fulton, I think he might be the best. I think the dude that might give him the most problems is that dude that beat Danny Roman. To be honest, he the one that might give him the most problems. But outside of that, Luis Theory, good fighter. I think Fulton got the style to beat him, but Mick Conlan's going to be hard for him to get a belt at 22, 26 anywhere. You know, and he ranked so high because what he did in the amateurs and he got top rank behind him. But, yeah, let me know what you guys think about Adrien Broner basically not wanting to fight Regis and wanting Regis to go out there and get a belt. What you think about, you know, Mick Conlan calling out Stephen Fulton and saying he want to fight him next. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests, all our social media links, subscription. Fast way to reach me is Twitter, then Facebook, then Instagram. All links, description. Also our Facebook group. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link there as well too. Best way to donate. Share the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. One time for the one time. We gone.